spiritual and not religious drew us to scichick.com and its dating section linked in the footer.
It's a new launch, and we want you to register in hopes that you find a lover, partner, and a friend beyond a traditional introduction, breaking views of cultural perception.
Tell your friends now.
I can't hear myself. Oh my goodness. Okay, there. I'm on. Hello. Happy December 2017. Welcome to a new beginning. Today is a wonderful day. I would like to give a good send-off to all those reptilians and let them know that the psychic ability cannot be conquered.
Hey, keep this friendly show.
It is a family show.
Friendly show.
It's a friendly show.
Don't be talking stuff about the reptilians now. You know how they are.
Yes, I've actually have had meetings with them over a couple decades ago. So I just wanted you to know that the plan, and it wasn't just me that was included. There was a lot of actors and a lot of lawyers and a lot of politicians behind the scenes.
Wow, this mic's really
that were working the power of the pen. Do you know what Illuminati means? It means illum.
Illuminati.
N-A-T-I. Do you know what T-I is? Illum and the T-I. What's T-I?
Reversed.
It's I-T reversed.
I-T reversed.
But T-I is paperwork. So illum in the paperwork. Ah, yay.
Illum in the paperwork.
So I want to thank all those people that know exactly what I'm talking about, that risked their lives, their hides, their, protected their families, and we made it to December 1st, 2017, and it was a world national event.
That's awesome.
I'm telling you, today is an extremely historic day. And one newscaster said it the best this morning on the golf course. You know what he said?
What did he say?
He said, mission accomplished. Woo. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Okay. Yay. So we do a lot more than just do psychic readings here on the Robin Zodiac Show. We solve world problems and we keep our families safe.
Yeah.
Playing the game of survival. Survival of the fittest. And we have demonstrated that the Homo-Sapiens are way more fit than the homo-capensis.
Capensis, huh?
You say capensis. I say capensis.
No, I said capensi. I don't even know what the hell I said anymore. Anyway.
Did you know the very first skull was ever found with what they also are known? No, they are the shapeshifters, reptilians, and a lot of conspiracy theorists talk about it. I know I've interviewed David Icke, or is it David Icke? I don't know. He always corrects me. But anyway, I interviewed him almost a decade ago, and he's never seen them. It's just like, I've seen them. I know they exist. This is how...
That's all he talks about? What do you mean he's never seen them?
He's never actually witnessed them. He's never actually witnessed them. So I just finished writing a blog. I haven't posted it yet. I'm going to post it tonight. It's called...
So how does that work?
Land Sharks Have Landed. But
a land shark.
They're not going anywhere. Why do you think the net was created?
Do those have legs?
We could trap them in the net. And they started this game about 6,000 years ago called religion. And we're going into the winter solstice, which is the pagan philosophy of birth and rebirth, and it goes back to mythology of when Persephone was taken down to the underworld, and the world shivered with the cold and the winter solstice, and you know, it's that whole death and rebirth thing.
That's all great, but what it really is just it's a farmer's freaking almanac.
It is.
It's when the sun starts climbing back up on the horizon, and then they wait for spring, which is Easter, or the Jesus rising from the grave. That's the time when you got to start planting your seeds. That's all it is, and they got to make it into this. They got to make it into that.
But you just said the secret of conquering all this greed and corruption, and evil, is farm.
That was a little too scary.
Did you ever notice that farm and firm are very similar? Did you know that before the Rothschilds took over our strawmen,
keep it friendly now,
from the farm, that I just had a brain fart. But we were all farmers. We were all farmers. America was a farming continent and country.
We still are.
Farmers.
They're
We're
trying
not
to,
doing a very good job of it.
stop the farming. But
as of today, we're able to generate this imaginary thing called money in relation to food. Not cars, not oil.
No more barter system, huh? What are you trying to say?
Barter system. Well, it's the same thing, but
Zodiac,
yes. We have a 13th Zodiac sign since 1994. I can never pronounce it correctly.
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry.
We have 13 Zodiac signs.
There's
one with a man that's holding a snake, and the snake is representative of the goddess. And the only difference between the pagan, which is the grassroots of all religions, in all religions, is that pagans have a goddess and worship Mother Earth.
But then again, the pagan is all it is a frickin' farmer clocking the sun, and the goddess is the actual harvest.
Exactly.
Don't make it into rocket science here or something creepy or mysterious.
Yeah,
anyway,
it is creepy and mysterious, but none of you.
No, it's not.
But this is a family
There's nothing creepy
world.
and mysterious about farming and growing some food, and hopefully you get some
show.
steak out of that too.
And I just want everybody to know, if they were ever sitting on the edge of their seats, worried about the reptilian race taking over, not as of today. Yay!
Oh yeah, you put them all in check, huh?
Yay!
All right, well, you want to take your first caller here? Or,
Sure.
You want to
continue talking
Yeah,
Halloween?
continue your seminar about the reptilian
No. David Icke did a good job on that.
Icke or Ike?
I don't know.
How can he do that? And now you tell me that he never even saw. He's never even seen it.
I told him I've seen him. Have you seen him?
How can he talk for hours and hours about the frickin' reptilians?
Exactly. Because
anyway,
he might be doing work for them.
Oh,
that's probably it. Because, like I said, they go looking for psychics.
All right, well.
Okay.
Here's your first caller then.
I know. Okay. Hello.
Well, here's your first caller. Tell them what you know. Here you go.
Okay. Hello. You're on the phone with Robin Zodiac. Hello. Does the cat got your tongue? Hello?
I don't think she heard you.
I don't know. She wants to join the show after I was talking about land sharks.
Hold on one second. Let me see if I can get her back. Or I'm assuming it's a she. I'm not sure. Well, most of the time.
Maybe that's why he didn't talk.
Maybe.
Okay. Let's do what is it? Gender fluid. Say you're on the phone, gender fluid.
No, it's not very nice.
No, well, that's what the millenniums call that. We can do it on our driver's license.
You've reached Kim's phone. I'm sorry, but I'm not able to get to the phone right now. Please.
Oh, okay, now we know that Kim called.
That was Kim?
Well, we called her back. I heard her machine.
Oh, all right. Okay. Here you go.
We got another caller.
We got another one.
Hello. You're on the phone. Hi, Margie. It's Robin Zodiac.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, how are you?
Good.
Okay. Just, my situation.
Okay.
So I'm just calling to see what you see the outcome as far as, my friend and his health issues and,
Well, I definitely. Yeah, what I'm picking up on is he does have love for you, and he's extremely emotional and very sensitive at this point. It does say that you have an extremely strong attraction for him still. I get that you're worried that that may diminish because of his behavior. You're worried that you may get to the end of your rope and call it a day. I don't see that happening, but I do see that that's something that you do worry about. But I do see comfort coming up. I am seeing science, which also can be medical or technology. It does look like everything is going accordingly to the plan, is what I pick up on. And Margie, I have to tell you, it doesn't appear to be this way today because, you know, once again, he's all grumpy and he's like putting you in check. But I have to tell you, I'm getting marriage. I've gotten that before, not in every reading, but I'm definitely getting marriage in the reading for you tonight. And I also have to tell you, I'm not saying that you're not going to marry Jay, but I also feel that there is a new man coming into your life, and it's somebody completely different that you have no idea who it is. When you meet this man, it'll be like you've known him before. For some reason, there's a parallel with your dad, either with birthday, name, initial, where he's from, I want to say rank. I don't know why that comes out, but it does feel like that there is going to be someone coming in that's that gives you a very strong feeling, not only of attraction, but of a common denominator having to do with your dad. So you'll have to tell me what that means, but that's what I'm getting tonight. But I
have no clue. I'm just broken right now. I
know you didn't need to hear that, but that's what came up tonight. And I know you are really upset, but a lot can change in a week. And I really do encourage you. I know that he said, you know, he doesn't want any visitors or any help or anything like that. But it's also he's throwing up a wall to see if you're going to break the rules, you know, because of his background, his career, and you know, rules are meant to be broken sometimes. I'm not talking like criminal behavior, but a lot of times rules are set up to like a game. Like I was thinking about this on the way over. I know I'm getting off subject, but I'm not getting off subject because it is December and Christmas is coming up. But my daughter is going to be co-hosting some shows in the future. And one of the things that ran past me is that I never told her about Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. And now I remember how I figured out that there wasn't a Santa Claus is that my parents that raised me would write from Santa. And when I figured out it was the same handwriting, it's like it clicked inside that, oh, okay, now I know the handwriting, that I can always determine, you know, what gift is coming where. And then eventually, you know, I figured out that it's one and the same. So I kind of look at everything in life as like a learning lesson, you know, even how I discovered Santa Claus. And I do feel that you're going through a major learning lesson, and I feel that it's partly because of his background, that it's kind of, I don't want to even say brainwashed, because I don't feel he's a brainwashed individual. I feel like he's a free thinker and he makes all his own decisions, and he's not really, you know, in any category whatsoever. And I think that's what you really love and like about him, is he's an original. So I'm not trying to lump him into it, but I do feel that this has been the most challenging relationship and a learning lesson, and you're both evolving. And so you're having a day where you feel broken, but you know what? It's better to sometimes break things, you know, to make them stronger. And I'm not saying, like, a lot of your friends or people will say, oh, just get rid of them, and you know, they try to say kick them to the curb, or you know, they hurt you more by discouraging you to follow your heart. It's like they assume that your heart is a bone, and if they break it, it'll come back stronger. And that's not necessarily the case with either the mind or the heart. But there are ways of becoming stronger through these moments. And, that's what I feel that Jay's doing with you a lot of times, is he's setting you up, and then he's wanting you to kind of break the rules or break that wall, or, and you've done it over and over and over again. We've been talking for a long time, and I'm not going to point out any specifics, but you've overcome some major walls with him. You've really, taken him down. And right now, it seems like that's what's happening to you. He's taking down your walls. And that's why you admitted, I feel broken. Well, that's not always a bad thing. I mean, I know it's a painful thing. I know it, it's like that saying, no pain, no gain. But you're definitely going to be in a better place and a better position in the long run, especially dealing with the male gender. Especially, they
I really
put you through
don't even think about dating anybody else. I know you said there's somebody else coming in, but I really don't want anyone else. This is just, I'm not going to go date somebody else and take the place of him, and just as,
Well, that's not the case. That's not what I'm seeing, but a lot of times it could put a jump start on how you feel about yourself, how you, are. If you don't care about somebody, it's a lot easier to put your walls down. Of course, you have to, deal with the same type of person you are, in a sense that, they have the same morals or, survival belief system. But I do feel that Jay definitely is always challenging you. And so maybe another individual, and I'm not saying that you're going to run off with someone new and you're not going to marry. I mean, it's up to you and who you marry. But it's actually, we have more than one in a lifetime, like soulmate connections, where you just like are balled over, you meet that person, you can't get them out of your mind. And, and that hasn't happened to you since Jay. So, of course, that's where your heart is. And yes, I do believe that you are going to achieve marriage. But I wanted you to know there's a possibility that there could be another game going on behind the scenes. And I'm not saying, directly with this new guy or even with Jay. I just feel energetically there is going to be more to come. Because, once again, it's not that you're broken. You just hit a plateau. So right now you may feel broken, you may feel down, but actually you're just, rearing up for the next climb, to the next evolution to your relationship, to the next challenge that's going to come your way. Because that's just life. And that's how we all, at the end of our lives, when we get older, we actually remember more from our childhood. The older we get, the more and more we remember from, when we were toddlers, and we don't remember anything now, and when we're old we do remember. And so yes, I do feel like you're evolving with each other. And like I said, you mentioned the word broken. I don't really see it that way. I feel like, once again, you kind of hit a plateau, but only for preparation of bigger things ahead, and another incredible, wonderful adventure or journey ahead of you both. So yes, I don't mean to complicate.
I hope he realizes, what he's doing, because I think he's not thinking straight right now. He doesn't realize this whole impact that's going on with him, with his health, and
no, he's not thinking straight.
Surgery and all that stuff. I mean, I think it's not hitting him until he's not going to have anybody there to.
Well, but that's the thing, is that if he's terrified of this surgery, thinking he's not going to come back, because like I've always said during the show, it's always a choice at the end. It's always a choice. And if he chooses not to come back, he's alienating himself from everybody. So in a way, it's kind of like an assisted suicide. And I'm not saying literally, I'm saying symbolically, that, he's alienating everybody. So because he's thinking, well, I don't want to hurt anybody, I just want to hurt myself. So that's what he's doing. He's purposely sabotaging, because he doesn't, that's his coping skills. I mean, it's odd, it's hurtful to you because you love and care about him, but that's just the way it is right now. But you have to remember, after every surgery or after every birth the woman has, you change, because you're actually, one, you're bringing life in as a mother, giving birth. But, when you go into surgery, they take you down to death, where you're almost dead. You know, we've heard many, many stories of people that go into surgery and don't come back because they go down to death and they're like, oh, I like it here. I'd much rather prefer here. I know I've crossed over when I was a teenager and I had rose-colored glasses and I came back, and I have to tell you, if the circumstances were the same at my age, I might stay. So I feel like Jay hasn't really decided what he's going to do, and you just have to hope and pray that, you know, he'll wake up and be fine, and then he'll have a second or another lease on life, you know. And I'm sure he's putting you through a lot. It's a test. You might not see it that way, but it is a test.
I think he's going to be okay is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's going to be okay. You know it. I mean, it's your industry. You work in the medical industry. You know he's going to be okay. More people are okay than not, you know. More people are okay than not. And the goodness and the love and the support and the admiration and the respect and everything that you've given him, you know, throughout the years, of course he has reason to stay. Of course. So right now, yeah, he's just operating out of fear, and the opposite of fear is faith. So you just have to hold on to faith that it'll work out, and the fear, he'll wake up one day, like people when they're depressed, they wake up one day going, why was I afraid? Why was I depressed? Boy, I can't believe I was there. Been there, done that, you know, so he'll wake up a different perspective completely. Everything has a reason, but he will stay on planet Earth. That's what I've always said. He's just afraid. He's afraid for you. He's afraid for everybody that he does love and care about. That if he doesn't, if not, you know, he doesn't survive, you know, where does that leave you? He's already worried about that. So, like I said, you know, it's you know, even after surgery, I mean, people really should get some sort of counseling or some sort of support, because my daughter was in a very severe car accident. We're going to talk about it when she comes on as a co-host, and it was very severe. And so, like I said, we're going to talk about it. And you know, the thing is that it's the will of survival that keeps us here. And you know, we don't, you know, they always say, you know, you know, we cry for those that have crossed over, but they're not crying for us, you know. So I think that he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Alrighty, I hope so. I don't mean to take up any more time, but.
All right, my dear. Well, we have other callers, but I'm so glad you called tonight. And once again, just remember, the opposite of fear is faith. So when he's acting fearful, or he's pushing you away and he's fearful, that's when you should be embracing him, you know, and have selective hearing, you know. Oh, I don't want to listen to that. I'll listen to that. I'll hold on to that glimmer of hope and run with it, even if it's only a glimmer. All right, Margie.
I'm not going to bother him right now, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, once again, you know, just stay busy, hold the faith, and I guarantee he'll have a different perspective. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. All right, we'll talk again soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Okay. All right, bye-bye, Margie.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I was just going to say something, and it slipped my mind again. It was really important. When it's about my daughter, it's really important.
Oh.
But what was I going to say? I was going to say something about, oh, yeah, anesthesia. And, you know, my daughter's in, you know, really a lot of different types of counseling. But psychological counseling was something that I had written all my family members and said, please make sure that she is psychologically processing, you know, after surgery, after anesthesia. It's like 6 months. It really plays a mind trip on your brain, because you are taken down to death and you are revived, and it takes about 6 months to actually recoup from where your brain was at the time that all this trauma was going on. So just wanted to add that. It's really important that after surgery people stay in counseling. Okay.
All righty.
Or hire a counselor.
Well, I'll just throw in my 2 cents. I wasn't going to, because it's a lengthy story. But anyway, I'll try to cut it short.
Okay, all right. Bottom line.
I had a really rough accident. So actually, I thought I was already dead, because I flew off a cliff at one point. I was a passenger. But nope, woke up, went to the hospital that night, stayed there maybe a week, got out, and I never really went through any psychological stuff, to tell you the truth. But
well, you are now with
no,
me.
but check this out. Years later, I saw the highway patrol report. They did a little diagram of what the car that I was in did. And when I saw what it actually was, that's when I went into shock. And I was literally in shock for I don't know how long. But I was like, what the hell? That's what happened, and I survived that? You know, that's when it happened.
Yeah, but you've always said you know why you survived. Why don't you share with the audience, why did you survive?
Why?
Why did you have the will to live? How old were you? How old were you?
I didn't.
How old were you?
I thought it was over. I was 18. Because I was an athlete in high school. That's the only reason.
There you go.
Because I had a strong body, didn't break a bone, but, you know.
There you go.
Anyway, moving on to your next caller here. Here you go.
Hello, hello. You're on the line with Robin Zodiac.
Hello.
Hi. Who's this?
Hi, Robin.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, good.
My name is Fred Tenfingers.
I've been thinking about you
Freddie
for
Tenfingers.
weeks. Weeks. I've been thinking about
You remember me?
Of course I do. Do you remember me?
Yes, of course. Always.
Yes.
You're my favorite.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm still waiting for my dream catcher. I have one.
You dream catcher. I know.
Is it on the way?
You know, and the thing is, I lost your address, so I have to write it down again because your studio address, I think, or where I have to send it.
Okay, let me tell everybody, even the audience, you go to Yelp, you search Los Angeles, psychic domain, like psychic home, psychic domain. Believe me, that domain
hold on, because I have to
is a fortune.
I have to get some paper and write it down.
Good.
Because I have your dream catcher, and then I lost the address, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to send it to her.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that you would come back on, you know. So, okay, where can I send it to again?
Okay, you want to go to Yelp, and you want to search search for Los Angeles psychic domain. DOM.
Psychic
domain.
Domain.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it'll pop
up
my websites and all my information. You can even rate me. You can give me a fabulous rating. You're sending me gifts, and you could also, give me some feedback. So it's great to hear from you. It's been a long time. It's been like all summer we haven't spoken. Yeah. What have you been up to?
I know.
Yeah. Did you?
Well,
hear?
I'm healing.
Good.
I think I told you I had hurt my leg, so I'm living with my brother in Nebraska now. I'm healing.
Yes.
And I applied for disability, so I'm waiting for that to go through, which hopefully will go through.
Takes 2 years.
And so I can move back to the Black Hills of South Dakota, where I grew up.
Did you know?
A very, very spiritual place, by the way. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I wanted to tell you something. That they stopped the pipeline.
Yes,
they stopped the pipeline coming in from Canada. Are you aware of that?
Yes, they did. They did.
So all your what did you do? You went out. You called me from there. There was like hundreds of thousands of people. What was it?
Yes.
What is that called? A rally? What is it?
It just was a peace. It was a peace riot. Like John Lennon would do, back in the day. I would imagine he would have done that if he were alive. But the thing is, getting everybody in a circle, a peaceful circle, and making the world, Mother Earth, and saying, this is not a good thing. And these people that own that pipeline. He's a Texas oil man, and all he worries about is money. You know what I mean? Money is not going to get anybody anywhere. When you think about it.
I thought it was.
And the thing is,
wait a minute. This was coming in from Canada. No,
he wanted his oil to go through the reservation,
and this?
We didn't want that because if it would have spilled, it would have contaminated the water and the land.
Who is it? What's his name?
I can't say his name because it would be slander.
Slander?
I can't. It would be
okay.
slander because this is a national. You're a national treasure, and you're a celebrity. So I can't say that. You know what I mean? I can't say his name.
Well, thank you for recognizing that. I totally get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, you're very well known. You should know that.
Well, yeah, I know that.
A lot of people know who you are.
So
I actually had a couple of native friends that had called you prior, and I mean, I don't know, you won't remember them, but some native friends that have called you before, and you gave them really good advice.
Great.
Spiritual advice, earthly advice, and there was a 17-year-old that called you, and he was very, very worried about going into the army. You know, he was very staunch about serving the country, but he didn't want to do it under Trump's rule. You know, he wanted to wait to see. So he's waiting now to see who's going to be the next president because he doesn't want to do it under Trump. He wants to serve the country, but he doesn't want to do it under Trump. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of things are changing. And I have to tell you that, you know, just surviving is serving your country. Just breathing air and living in this moment is serving the land that we are right now on, you know. Everything has to do with algorithms these days, which was also created by Canadians. So every spot and every place you go and everything is connected to the phones. And so, like, there's this artificial intelligence that it's kind of preteen age right now, is calculating as we are existing. And so instead of before how we were born as dead, now we live and it's like shaven back, you know. So it is supposed to, you know, it's Brainstorm could probably explain a lot about penny stocks and this and that, but that's where the money is. It's the smaller the denominator, the bigger the number, you know. So, but so I don't remember who you're referring to, but you know, like I've said before on the show, I'm very blessed and fortunate to have at least 10,000 people when I send an email it goes to. So I have a very large clientele list, and I don't worry about you know, money at all, because, you know, money is energy. It's a currency. It's an energy. You bring it to you.
Right.
You know, so.
Well, we have to have money to live, of course. You know, it is currency. But I have to tell you something very important. When I was there, I met Keanu Reeves, and he knows who you are.
Wow.
Keanu Reeves knows who you are. He's a very humble individual. He came from New York to protest. And the thing is, he, you know, I was telling him, when I met him, I was like, oh, starstruck, you know, oh my gosh, you're Keanu Reeves. But he was very, like, down to earth, just like a regular person, you know what I mean? And he just said he believes that people should protect the earth, protect Mother Earth, because if we don't, then it's going to strike back. She's going to strike back, and then we'll be gone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that Mother Earth doesn't want that. And anyway, I was telling him that I had talked to you, Robin Zodiac, and how my future was going to panhandle on this whole thing. And he goes, oh, I know who that is. She's a psychic from Los Angeles. So he knows who you are.
That's cool.
That was just amazing to me, you know what I mean?
Well,
and the thing is, he was just so
my favorite,
advantageous. And
I just wanted to say my favorite movie I've seen 8 times in the movie theater. I paid 8 full movie theater tickets to see The Matrix. It's my favorite movie of all time. is the Matrix. There used to be
Yep.
others, but yeah, I have to tell you, that's the one that always rings in my memory banks, with the Oracle and, making the choice blue or red, Democrat, Republican, and just that's an amazing film. I mean, it was so, even with the like breeding, in embryos, that was, I don't know if you heard the
Yeah.
maiden, but I was talking about a different species, and, basically that's their perspective of us. We're just being bred.
Yes.
Yeah, as we're being
Exactly.
enslaved, and we're food, and, that's our purpose, and that's not our purpose. Our purpose is, to farm and to, take care of our families and our bloodlines, because, that's all we have, is our,
Yes.
is us, each other. And once again, this moment in time, we're all in the same moment right now, which is, it's incredibly awesome if you really think about it, that we're all alive at the same
Yeah.
time, in this very moment. So, but thank you. That's
And
great.
it should be a circle. It should be a circle, And talking about the Matrix, he donated all of his earnings from that to his crew, to families that were needy at the time.
Wow.
And so he's a philanthropist.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
Wow.
all those Matrix movies that he made millions of dollars, but he donated it to the crews, the people that worked for him, and also the homeless, in Los Angeles and California, everywhere that he worked, and he said, I don't need this money. He goes, I would rather just live humbly and act. And it was amazing. It was on Facebook. There was a passage on Facebook about him.
Wow, that's
And
amazing.
I admire him so much. He's just such a wonderful human being. I wish there were more like him.
Yeah, yeah. I watched John Wick. I think I was watching the second one. And the first one was on. I don't recall where I had seen it, but I like his acting style. He's a good superhero type, even though he doesn't dress in costumes and stuff. I like his acting a lot. That's great. I'm flattered that he knows who I am. I would have never thought.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. But Brainstorm and I have a big soft spot. Brainstorm and I have a big soft spot for the homeless too. We heard on the news reports like last year that they were really going to put how much money? 30 million or something towards housing the homeless or whatever.
Oh.
And
Yes.
yeah, so
yes.
I don't know.
He and Leonardo DiCaprio started that Green project, or
Okay.
it's called Green. Anyway, they started like a little town out in, I think it's Pennsylvania, and they built all these little tiny houses for homeless. And so anybody that wants to go there can live in these tiny homes, and there's like, I don't know, I think it's 2,000 little houses that anybody in the country wants to go there. They can go to this little town that they built so that the homeless can go there and have a little place to live.
Yeah, but who wants to live in
Isn't that amazing?
Well, who wants to live in Centralia? Centralia is hell on earth. Are you familiar with Centralia?
Yeah, yes.
Horrible.
Definitely.
It's horrible. And they were going to build a pipeline in America with Centralia happening? Oh,
yes.
my gosh. I'm so glad that's gone. That was a nightmare ready to happen.
Oh, yes. Now, on another subject, I have to ask you a very serious question.
Okay.
My mother passed a while ago, and I think we talked about this before when I called you. I want to write a book about her life. She had an amazing life, and she was born in a time where native people were not exactly, popular, as well as African Americans. Any people of color at the time, and she was not allowed to go to college. She was not allowed to do things, until probably the 80s. She was able to do things and find out that she could actually vote, you know what I mean? Or or I don't know. And I'm getting all these facts and figures about her, and it's kind of like a native color purple.
Wow, that sounds like very
You understand
interesting.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
That's
my
great.
mother lived she fought really hard. Like in the 60s, she was like a hippie type person, but she fought against the war, the Vietnam War. She just made sure, and she took one of her African American friends to be able to vote in 1965 in the small town that we lived in. And she was just amazing. She had this spirit about her that she silently fought for people's rights. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm right there with her.
And,
but you know what? I think it is. I think it's part of a 6,000-year cultural brainwashing that I've said this before, that men are the power, women are the force, and Brainstorm says that's the same thing. It's not.
My mother always said. My mother always said, behind a strong man, there's always a stronger woman, and don't ever forget that, Fred. She always said that to me. She goes, even your friends, no matter what you go through in life, you're going to have all these women friends, and they're going to be very strong, and they're going to help you. None of your guy friends won't do that. Your women friends will. They'll give you advice just like you.
Well, thank you,
and
thank you.
They will make sure that you're on the right track in life. And that is very true. You know what I mean? Well, women are amazing, as spiritual, leaders. I don't know how to say it, but I consider you a shaman.
Oh, thank you.
I do.
Wow, I'm flattered.
I do. I think you're a healer because of the advice you give and the things, and you feel everything about every individual that you talk to, and that makes a huge difference in life. People need to hear the truth, and they need to hear how their lives can be better, and you do that. That's why I call you a shaman.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because that's an amazing gift that you have.
Yeah, it is a major healing when you're able to share a person's burden without them even opening up their mouth, just knowing what they're going through. It's a stress reliever. It really is. And yeah, I do feel, we all need it, though. We all need it. I get a lot of my encouragement, my lessons, from my female friends, and especially from my daughter. I've noticed so many times in my life that, she says things that really strike a chord, that really resonate my memory banks, and that I really do focus on. And she admits where I have influenced her the most in regards to survival, too. So I'm excited. She's going to come on and co-host, and you're going to meet my gorgeous teenage daughter. And she's very deep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And her brain grew in my belly. Yes, that's true. So I'm excited to share her with the world. But women are just future trippers, where there are male future trippers, and anybody born around this time of the year are innately able to, see down the line. But women, because, and I'm not trying to sound general, because like I said, it's going to sound general, but it's not actually. There are, men that are, have, psychic energy. A lot of it comes from this feminine side. We all have testosterone. We all have hormones. But there's definitely a brainwashing difference and a gender difference, where a lot of men, they don't think that much into the future. They know their schedule, and they think about what they're going to eat for dinner as much as into the future as that they, other than that. And I said this to, a friend of mine, that really what men want from a woman is a happy woman that's always happy. Even when things are tough, I always try to joke around about it or laugh about it, because I've trained myself since I was a young child that has witnessed and experienced a lot of trauma, that I need to laugh about it and have a sense of humor instead of crying, because laughter and crying, it's like comedy and drama, you know, and acting, it is a release. But men, they just want to be around a happy woman. They want their bellies full and their balls empty, and that's pretty much the whole male.
Yeah, that's very
this
true.
This is a family show. Thank you.
Are you part of the
I
family?
can coach you on that one.
Yes, that's the secret to men. Just be happy,
Yes.
fill their tummies, and empty their...
Hey, your daughter's going to be
empty their...
on
Hey.
Yeah. You know, I have to tell you one thing, Robin. I see you and your daughter a lot at the ocean for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Oh, great, yeah.
She must love, like, shells or collecting things, like collecting treasures from the earth. You know, I can see that about the both of you, especially when she was a young girl.
Yeah.
You know, just admirant towards water. I mean, you guys are. It's Scorpio now, actually, right? The Zodiac.
Sagittarius.
Scorpio, right?
Sagittarius. But I think
the sign now.
But there's.
No. I mean now. Is it Sagittarius now?
Yeah.
Going into.
But
December?
It might be the 13th one, because around this time of year, it's I don't know. Look it up, Orlando. I'm sorry. I look it up, Freddie. It's Ophiuchus or something like that. There's a 13th sign that was added in. I've written an ebook on it. I should be able to pronounce it, but there's a new Zodiac, and we're during that time period right now. It's the Constellation is a male hunter that's holding a snake, and the snake is like the goddess symbol. Yeah, so there is a 13th.
Oh my
Zodiac.
gosh.
Yeah, so we're.
Oh my goodness.
We're in that time period.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was a book a long time ago when I was a teenager. My best friend Rhonda, she gave me this book called Illusions by Richard Bach.
Okay.
And
he also wrote
it's
The
about
Seagulls.
this reluctant Messiah, right? And he has a biplane and he flies across country, and he's a Messiah, but he doesn't want to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to the ocean and he figures out the kind of like a sign, like the Zodiac, but he discovers there's 13, and so his lucky number is 13.
Yeah, that's my lucky
and that's
number.
my lucky number.
Yeah, good.
Which is weird.
Yeah, Richard Bach wrote the Seagull book. It was one of my favorites. It has some connection to Jessica Chastain, that actress. I think she did something on that movie. What is the name of that book with the seagulls? I mean, I read it when I was a kid over and over and over again. It was
He wrote that book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, or something like that, or whatever.
That's it.
Yeah, he wrote a book about Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
That's it. That's it.
That was a book. And then a friend of mine just gave me this book, which I have been given so many times. It's called The Secret. Have you ever heard of that book?
I know a lot of the people that were in that documentary. Yeah, I watched it over and over and over again. But my favorite,
by Rhonda Byrne.
I think
Rhonda Byrne. Oh, yeah.
My favorite
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My favorite is The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. It's about a journalist in World War II that talks about why some people survive and some people don't. It's an incredible book. When you're finished with it, you'll be able to see what quantum physics is all about. You'll be able to experience it, think it, and the answer comes or the happening happens, and it's amazing. It really does. It really has brought us to today, is what I have to say. Today is a historical day, December 1st, 2017. It is majorly the new beginning of all the predictions that have been written in what I call the military handbook. Notre Dame's, his visions, they were kind of summed up today, to say the least. So I just wanted you to know, and it was such a pleasure that I have you on the show on this historical event day. I really appreciate you calling in. But I do have to say goodbye because our hour is up.
I know. I know time is limited. I love you, Robin Zodiac. You are amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate
And I have to tell you, my slogan is Lila Washte, which is Lakota. Lila Washte means peace and wellness.
Peace and wellness.
Lila Washte.
Yes.
I love
Lila Washte.
Lila Washte.
we don't say hi or goodbye. We just say Lila Washte.
And
my Lakota.
And as a pagan, I say so modem be. So modem be.
Ah,
yeah.
Yes.
I hope that
have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
And it was great to talk to you.
Likewise.
Right.
Okay. Hope to hear from you soon. Okay. Bye, Freddie. Okay. Well.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, we only have, a few more minutes in the show?
A few more minutes.
Okay, I just wanted to say we had a couple business meetings. I had one at the gym I didn't tell you about, and the thing that came out of it is I made up a new motto when Freddie had mentioned motto. The difference between a good idea and a great idea is a good idea is copied, and a great idea is Xeroxed. So that's a hint on what kind of business meeting that I was in this week at the gym. And then we had a business meeting last night. We had a speakeasy, but Brainstorm definitely did not speak easy. So we have a lot going on.
I never do.
No, but this is really today, I'm telling you, today will be a very significant day in the future. It could be thousands of years down the road. When we look back on December 1st, 2017, this is a historical day, guaranteed. All right, everybody, I'll see you next week. I'm going to have my very, 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 very special person that I love with all my heart. Hopefully.
Hold on. You got 2 minutes to go here.
Oh, I have 2 minutes to go. Okay, so my favorite person that I worship and adore will hopefully be here next week. Definitely the following week. Let's hope that she can function next week. She's going to be traveling half the way around the world, and she's going to be treated like royalty all the way. And so I'm really excited that she's coming so I can give her her Christmas socks, keep her toesies warm.
Toesies.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, she'll be nice and toasty. And
Toasty.
so what else? What else was I going to say tonight? I was. I wanted to thank you very much for helping me complete this plan that's been going on for who knows how long. I'm sure there's many people out there that know how long, and we'll get to that. But I wanted to thank you for being involved in this quest of Homo-Sapiens survival and allowing me to bond with your CUSA bond or your Strawman or your Social Security Trust. It was necessary in completing the mission.
Why don't you show the Christmas presents I got you today?
Okay. All right. Well, I got some nice toasty socks. This is Christmas present number 1.
That's all I can afford.
And then I got Christmas present number 2, which is
what is that? Pink crack cocaine?
They're bath salts, but don't worry, I won't be
Bath
smoking
salts,
them.
Good,
I'm not going to be
good.
smoking them.
I don't think that.
I'm not going to turn into homo-capensis and eat people's faces.
Yeah, you might if you do.
And what else did I get? Oh, I got this beautiful, beautiful red lipstick. Oh, I already smushed it. Bummer. Well, I'm gonna have to use it. And Mr. Tony Sweet, Mr. Tony Sweet.
Yeah.
Is he there? Is he there?
He's not.
Is he there?
Tony has left the building.
He's left the building. I want to say thank you, Mr. Tony Sweet, for allowing me to be here tonight. I love you. Mwah, mwah. Next Friday's your birthday. Next Thursday. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I thought you said the karaoke's on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I
guess we're staying until midnight. You're
trying to extend this as much as you can.
Yes. But Friday is actually the first day of your birthday, New Year. So that's what the Chinese believe. They always celebrate the day after. They say that your first birthday is the day after you're born.
All right,
so
you're a minute over now. They're going to start charging us by the minute
bye,
here.
Bye. I'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And happy birthday,
Here
Mr.
first.
Sweet.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Psy-Chic.com has worldwide users instant messaging, reading blogs, romance stories, posting pictures, getting recipes, playing games, buying, selling, psychic readings, reviewing, and much more. Interact at Psy-Chic.com.
Psychic Robin Zodiac has talent of ESP abilities to predict your future in accurate detail. Robin Zodiac has authored many advised books, and you can interact at Psy-Chic.com. Clients call Robin at 877-924-4783 for a $3 a minute reading.